She said 2 words.
What 2 words? What were they? What did she say?
Bad wolf. Are you afraid of the big bad wolf, Doctor?
Alonzi, everybody, and welcome to the Bat Wolf broadcast. I am Tony, and with me always.
Good morning, Oti.
And today we are going to be talking about the latest episode of Doctor Who called Lucky Day. Uh,
Indeed.
and what a day it was. Yeah, we're back.
The apparently obligatory Ruby standalone episode.
Yeah, the obligatory Doctor Who episode without the Doctor.
Yep.
Feels like there's a new trend of that, I feel like, but also just
I
pushing the other character stories forward for us to know where they are, right?
I mean, what's the saying? If something happens once, it's a coincidence. If it happens twice, it's a tradition.
Yeah.
So
So
we've
it's a
had
tradition
two
now.
consecutive seasons where I don't remember if it was the fourth episode as well, but like it was close to the fourth episode. Um, the Doctor is not there, and Ruby is on her own.
Yep.
And Kate kind of helps. I mean, in 73 yards, Kate doesn't help.
Well, she tries, she just doesn't.
She just runs away.
So here we are. We are in Lucky Day. This is the episode that we knew was gonna be with Ruby Sunday. We obviously had the big question: if the Doctor can't go back to Earth 2025, how is he gonna meet up with Ruby? And we kept thinking, oh, it might be he goes before, whatever it is. But no, this episode essentially is a 2024 to 2025 episode,
Filling
in the gaps of some things. It does start with the Doctor and Belinda doing what they've always been doing, kind of stopping where they can to get data for the device that the Doctor is going to use to be able to go back to Earth 2025.
And that's our
yeah.
setup for what's to come.
Yeah.
Tony, how did you feel about the episode?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really, really good. I just love seeing all these other characters kind of continuing their story. You know, we kind of know a little bit more about what Ruby has been doing. We obviously connect with the unit people. But I also love, and we talked about this, how real world Doctor Who gets, and this is something a little bit near and dear to my heart. I'm big on conspiracy theories and all this sort of stuff.
Are you?
And like, yeah. So I did like this episode. I liked where we were going with it. I mean, I thought the twist was like I honestly did not see that coming. But I loved how it all just keeps going up and up and up and up, up to the point where it becomes a Doctor Who episode again. Because it kind of starts in a way where you're like, oh, where are we going with all of this, right?
It had a Love and Monsters vibe, of
Mhm.
course, with the whole like, oh, I've seen the Doctor. I've been chasing it down. I've been talking to people, so it reminded me of that. But then the episode starts to shift into something completely different, and I did like it was if you think about those early Doctor Who, like New Who episodes, there was a lot of this, a lot of, oh, I heard the noise, I saw the thing, I can't stop thinking about it. And here was like a nice play on it. Like, at first I was thinking like, oh, okay, this is a new Doctor Who for a new generation, so of course we're gonna repeat some beats. And they did, but then they pulled the rug from under us, and I'm like, actually, that's not what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, no,
And
and I think that's what's been great. And um props to this entire team because they could have easily done that. They could have easily just been like, let's recycle stories. It's just a new Doctor Who for a new generation. We can retell some of these stories. But no, they kind of play into that a little bit, and then like you said, they just pull that rug right from under us. But yeah, no, honestly, I thought it was really good. We're starting to get a little bit of this darker side of the Doctor sometimes, which I
Oh,
like. You know, I feel it. I feel his Capaldi coming out. You know what I mean?
I mean, I like. I don't think it's a dark side. He's basically telling him, "Hey, you fucked with my friend. I'm gonna fuck with you now."
Yeah, you're dead. You did now.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's a reminder that the Doctor can be a threat to people because that Moffat era was so much about that,
mhm.
and now it's like happy-go-lucky, but no, he's still the same person. So
Yeah, and
don't
he's
don't don't
still
fuck with Ruby Sunday.
yeah still going through trauma. So yeah, so should we get into it?
um, yeah, let's get the housekeeping, the
The
housekeeping,
housekeeping, Ruby
the
Sundi,
housekeeping out of the recently. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way, and we'll be right back to talk about Lucky Day.
Lucky Day.
Hey companions, before we get started, we want to remind you that you can listen to us over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and wherever you get your podcasts. Wherever you listen, make sure to follow and subscribe so the podcast episodes will pop up automatically in your feed and you don't have to look for them. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave us a 5-star review, which really helps us get to more people, and that way the show can keep growing. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at batwolf_FNI. You can also keep up with our co-hosts' adventure. You can follow CollecTony52, which is Tony's collection page, and you can follow El Podcast de Star Wars, which is Odie's main Twitter and social media handle, but also his Spanish language Star Wars podcast. And our co-hosts also have Film Not Included, which is a podcast dedicated to discussing all sorts of films. The links to all these things I just said will be linked down below. Without further ado, let's get right into the Bad Wolf broadcast.
Housekeeping.
How's Skyping? Not good.
I mean, Skype died now.
I know Skype died.
Okay, so Doctor Who, Lucky Day. We get Ruby. This is the Ruby centric episode. As you mentioned, we knew she was coming back. We've known for a while that this was the episode she was coming back on, and it wasn't really what I expected. I honestly thought Ruby was the Doctor was gonna be in it.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
trailers kind of
we
made it
all
feel
thought
like that.
we were having, and the promotional material, like I thought we were having a 2 companion adventure.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you know, I thought we were all three of us were gonna be in the TARDIS together, and it was gonna be, you know, uh, this whole like, oh, this used to be my old friend, this is my new friend, you know. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I think they played that really well. I think they kind of knew we were expecting that, and then suddenly they were like, "Oh no, this isn't what you think it is."
I mean, Russell T Davis has been very good with that kind of how do I say this? Playing of expectations, like
Hmm.
knowing what we're going into the episode thinking. But it has never felt forced. It has never felt like, ha, made you look.
Yeah,
Like
no,
the transitions are always like so organic. They just build, and suddenly, okay, no, this is what it is. And I do appreciate that. It's not. I never feel cheated, if that makes sense.
yeah, no, I know what you mean.
So the episode, as you mentioned, starts with the Doctor and Belinda showing up in 2007, was it? I think it was 2000.
2007, yeah, New Year's 2007.
They're still doing the anchor points and the hook and the thing to get back to May 24, 2025. And they run into this kid called Conrad.
Conrad.
apparently. And the kid becomes obsessed with the TARDIS. He tells his mom he saw his thing, and his mom calls him a liar. And years later, he has a podcast. He's looking for Dr. Truthers or Dr. Experiencers.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs into Ruby, who he had previously run into. He one day finds the TARDIS and sees the Doctor, Trudy Gatwa, with Ruby. It was like this side adventure we never saw, which is always fun.
Yeah. But I love that they tell us exactly when, because they're like, "Oh, we were just with the Beatles."
Yeah,
you know.
it was
So
a-
this is like right after the Devil's Chord.
Yeah, it's between that and Boom, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And they are running from the Shriek. Tony, I have an ignorant question.
Yeah.
Have the Shriek been in Doctor Who before?
I don't think so. I was trying to think that. I can't remember, to be honest. So I believe not. I believe this is the first time we've seen them.
I had this very me thing when the episode was happening, and they show up, and they're like, "Oh, the Shriek!" Oh, yes, the Ruby and the Doctor Shriek episode. Of course. How
Yeah,
am I forgetting?
how
And
could I
it's like,
forget?
no, wait, that's not a thing.
No, I think this is a new villain for this new era.
So he finds Ruby, who's willing to go on the podcast and talk about the TARDIS and talk about the Doctor. Talk about it as much as Unit will allow her. And they end up falling in love.
Aww.
Ruby is dealing with some PTSD. She's not in her best spot. She told the Doctor to go away, and now she's regretting it.
She's regretting it. Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there, Ruby.
Who wouldn't be?
I've been there, Doctor. She tells you to go away, and then it's like, hey, you up? Happens.
It happens. It's crazy though. She can't call the TARDIS, right?
No, she doesn't have Rose's phone.
To go back to that era.
If she had a flip phone, maybe, but an iPhone, no. So they. So what's happening is since when he ran into the Doctor and Ruby, they were going after this creature called the Shriek, and the Shriek, if they spit on you or puke on you, I don't know what the fuck that is, you're marked for death, and they will hunt you down. And there's this antidote that Ruby gives him for him to drink, and he doesn't drink it. We find that out later. So the Shriek are after him, and they go on a small vacation. We do see, by the way, a little bit of Ruby's life, and she's living with her two moms. Well, she's living
with her old mom, but her new mom comes in all the time.
Out. She's allowed to come in for play
she's
dates.
allowed, even though she abandoned her. We'll get into that.
I mean, it was a whole thing.
I know. I do love how I love how they play the
time
whole how when the Shriek come around, the lights start to flicker.
And that was fun, and again made me think, like, does this make sense? But I don't care. Like, throughout the episode, when you see the lights flicker randomly.
Yeah. But it's like this villain has like an electromagnetic field that messes up with lights. It makes sense. It's explained.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it because like it's you slowly start to see those little details. Like sometimes it's in the way in the background.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Or it's just like a tiny little thing in front of them. Or other times it's the whole room.
There's this scene when they're walking down the streets, and if you look at the different lights, they're all flickering. So when they do the twist, I was like, oh, then does everything that happened before make sense? But you know what? I don't care. It was fun. It was fun. Good job, David Hoare. Was that her?
Peter Hoare.
Peter Hoare, you whore. So they are going on this vacation, and I don't remember where they were going though. I don't care. And when
they're just going for a weekend trip to this village.
Good for them.
And she's gonna meet his friends for the first time.
Oh, big day.
Big day.
And while they're at the pub, weird stuff starts happening, and the Shriek have them cornered. They want Conrad, and then Conrad reveals he never took the antidote, so they're still after him.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruby then, in a desperate attempt, calls Kate, and Kate comes in with the cavalry. They're ready to take on the Shriek, and there's no Shriek. It's all a prank,
Mm-hmm.
a very elaborate prank that Conrad and his group called Think Tank have developed. And it, this is so, how do I put this? It felt so stupid to me. Like, there's this conspiracy theory group that are saying that UNIT is covering something up and using aliens and monsters as the cover up. Like, wouldn't it be like the opposite way? Like,
Yeah, but I think that's the play on it all. It's like, first of all, they're very obviously not gonna say, "Oh yeah, we're fighting aliens." Like that's our cover up. Like, come on, like. But then on the other thing, I think it's what Conrad was saying is like they think we're that stupid that they're willing to tell us this, no, and we would believe it. Um, but yeah, but like I love how his whole thing about like um Unit is stealing the people's taxes to pay for all of this, and he's a tax evader.
yeah, of course. He is. uh, Again, this episode deals a lot with the kind of people who spread conspiracy theories, and
Right.
how I do love that line from the doctor at the end, like, you're preying on people's insecurities and fears, which is like, yeah, that's how, at least in the modern world, when you see people who spread conspiracy theories, they are preying on
Mm-hmm.
people's fears, and those big things they, for lack of a better word, fear.
Yes.
um so I did like how all of that just like plays out, and how they shape this character. So he basically starts this whole thing where he he starts this internet movement. Oh, it was all a lie, like. And yeah, it was kind of weird because like he creates this, he's super obvious about what he's doing, because he creates this scenario and then films it from the perspective like, oh, Unit created this situation where the Shriek were here, but we were able to uncover that the Shriek aren't real. It's like, no, you planted the Shriek.
Yeah, like you literally planned all of this.
Yeah.
Even if the Shriek were not real, you still planned this whole thing, like.
Yeah. So they they start this social movement where people are rioting on the streets against Unit.
Yep.
Ruby needs constant protection, and
Yeah, because Ruby becomes like the face of Unit for the public, right?
exactly.
You know, and I still love that even though she's hurt by all of this, she's still trying to help people and she's still trying to do what's right. Which is interesting, and we'll get to that when we talk about, the end. Um, but yeah, dude, this episode very quickly got like heavy. Um, like when we get the whole reveal of there's a double agent within Unit that's
Oh,
giving
okay.
information to them,
So
like.
so one day they lock themselves in Avengers Tower. I mean Unit Tower,
I mean,
and
Valentina's tower.
Valentina's Tower. So they're locked in there, and there's civil unrest, and people are trying to break into Unit. And as you mentioned, there's this guy who shows up when Ruby talked about her dad. So I was like, wait, is that Ruby's dad now? No, it's just a guy.
Just a
The
guy.
first time we see him in the episode, Ruby's talking about his dad.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, okay, that's probably her dad. No. And this guy then lets Conrad in, and Conrad kills him, unfortunately. And
Tries to.
Oh, right. He doesn't get to kill him. He doesn't kill him.
Survives.
He survives, unfortunately. I mean, yay. And Conrad makes his way to Kate with a camera, and he's like, "Oh, if you shoot me down, I will become more powerful than you can possibly." No, he's
Well, that's a whole other layer to it all. The whole like he's live streaming everything.
so whatever they do, he's gonna
yeah.
become a martyr.
Exactly. Which
And
is
Kate,
again playing into the whole like new era of things. You know,
So I do
everybody
love
has a
that-
camera out. You know.
yeah, I do love that Kate's then like, nobody shoot him. Like
Yeah.
nobody can shoot him.
Yeah. No. She. Well, here's what I love about Kate, and even she calls it out. She's willing to cross a line that we know the doctor won't.
No,
But I just love how she only wants what's best for the people, but she's willing to do it however she can. Um, and I love how she even tells him, she's like, "You're so you should be glad that the doctor isn't here because you would have been stopped a while ago, but you'd be safe, you know, and you'd be getting a talking to instead of what we're gonna do to you."
I love that whole thing because Ruby's the one who's like, "You're lucky the doctor isn't here because he would stop you," and Kate's like, "You're lucky the doctor isn't here because he would stop me." And Kate then releases the shriek. I did love how they did that. Like they showed us from the beginning. Kate's like skeptical about the shriek coming back because she's like, "We have them here," like, and they're not that common.
No, and she, you know, one of those Doctor Who things about explaining something about this alien race, right? Which is the whole thing of like, you know, they do this hunt once a year or whatever, but when they mark their target, that's their target. They don't really hurt anybody else, you know? And I love that they use that to play with the idea of like, okay, we're releasing the Shriek. We know it's not going to attack us. It only wants him, right? And I love that, you know, quickly it became like a horror episode with like
because of the creature, it has like horror movie vibes to them. So the Shriek then goes after Conrad, and he's like a crying baby, and he I mean, he does he admit to anything?
he admits that he was lying.
And that he didn't pay taxes.
Yeah, that's when Ruby tasers the Shriek, and then he stands up, and of course, being the bad guy, he's like, "Oh, your special effects got better," still playing into the whole thing that this isn't real, and then the Shriek bites his arm off.
Right.
Which there's no way for you to say it's not real, you know?
Yeah. So they then take him into custody. They take the Shriek into custody, and oh, by the way, Unit is moving everything out at that point. I wonder if they bring it back in though.
Unit is moving everything out because the government is asking them to.
Yeah, they're cutting their funding.
They're being just like with Valentina.
And
they're cutting their funding, and they have to move everything to Geneva, which is, you know, we all know what Geneva
they're going
is.
to a convention.
Yeah, literally, they're going to having another convention.
So they, this has nothing to do with the plot, but there's a line I love when he mentions Kate's dad, and she's like, "Fuck you."
Like, don't ever talk about my dad.
You'll never be half the man. My father was a brilliant man.
My father was a brilliant man.
So
you don't even know.
So yeah, okay. Conrad is in prison. Ruby still works at Unit, but she's taking a break, I think. Kate's like, "Yeah, do whatever the fuck you want."
She wants to travel.
You're
which
my
I
friend's
think
friend.
is her way of trying to find the doctor again.
Yeah, I hope she'll probably be back for the finale. Especially when they kill Belinda and the doctor's like, I need. Oh.
Yeah, of course.
The show's not even renewed. Oh. Fuck me.
Let's kill the Indian girl. Oh.
Let's regenerate the Black Doctor. Oh. Fuck you, Russell T. Davis. So Conrad is in prison, but the doctor pays him a visit.
Yep.
And I loved how all of this plays out. Because the doctor pays him a visit because he finds out
Of course.
about what happened. But that doctor isn't the same doctor that we saw earlier. Because it's in between the seasons, apparently.
Mhm.
And I do love how Conrad's like, oh, Belinda Chandra. Oh, wait, you haven't met her yet? And the doctor's like, what the fuck? Who are you?
Yeah.
And I was also like, what the fuck? Who are you?
Yeah, no, and I love it because, again, to the whole bootstrap thing, the only reason he knows Belinda is because that's the first companion he meets in 2007 when he's a little kid. It's Belinda and the
Oh,
doctor.
right.
So,
Idiot.
but again, life of a Time Lord, that's his whole thing. It's like you never really know at what point in your life you're meeting the doctor, right?
Yeah.
So when he sees him again with Ruby later, he thinks that's future Doctor, not knowing it's really past Doctor. So that's why he's like, "Oh, have you met Belinda Chandra yet?" And he gets like, "What? Like
Who is
what?"
Belinda Chandra?
Which, again, going back to the Robot Revolution, when he tells Belinda, like, "Yeah, the guy told me to come find you," and she's like, "What guy?" He's like, "Forget about it. Don't worry about the guy. Don't
Oh,
worry about the guy. You know, the guy doesn't matter. The guy doesn't
right.
matter anymore."
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah,
love
so
that.
that's
Yeah,
the bootstrap thing of it all. It's like, did the doctor make himself find Belinda somehow by doing this? Obviously not consciously, like not a conscious bootstrap, but there is something there, you know?
it's a more
And
plausible bootstrap.
there's one factor we haven't even talked about, which is right after that, the doctor obviously gives him the speech of, "You fucked up, and you're gonna die alone, as you
So,
should," and then brings him back, right? And then we get the final reveal of the episode.
but I do love, but okay, so he gives him the speech as you mentioned, like telling him like you're gonna rot in prison and
Yeah,
you,
done.
you're a fucking liar and nobody likes you. And he's like, I know I lied and I know everything I did got me into prison, but I reject your reality. And I love that line because we know the finale episode is called The Reality War.
Mhm. And we know that one of the things that the doctor has been playing with this whole season is like he doesn't know a lot of the things that are happening. He still like doesn't have all the answers, right?
Well, and the first break of reality for him is going to the well and being like, "Oh, Earth," and they're like, "What's Earth? We've never heard of that." And bang. So he returns to prison, and the governor, Mrs. Flood,
Mhm.
takes him out,
Yep,
and she's like, "I'm assembling a team. I mean,
literally.
you can leave." And that's the episode.
The governor.
The governor.
The first time she says an actual name.
Time to check on this. Tony, is she a Time Lord?
I am now under the impression that she is the Rani.
The Ronnie?
So the Rani is a renegade Time Lord from the old era
Oh, look at
that
you.
was a villain to the Doctor. Kind of like not so much like the Master that they were villains, like they actually sometimes worked together and everything, but she wasn't. She was just like a renegade Time Lord, literally, like just running away. She is, or she was, the governor of the prison in Gallifrey.
Quick
Um,
question.
yeah.
The fact that this seems to be so obvious because the governor and whatever, doesn't that make you think that's not what it's going to be?
I don't know. Again, this show has done so many things with bringing back stuff in different ways. So I don't know. Like I could see this happening. Like
But like, think about last season and how obvious it was. Susan Triad TARDIS, she's a Time Lord. And then they were like, nah, it's Sutek. So what if, no, you thought it was the Ronnie? It's the Master.
yeah, Either
It's
one
Clara Oswald.
either one would work.
I'm fine. I'm fine, I swear.
Yeah,
Thanks for asking.
I'm fine.
Thanks for
I'm
asking.
fine. I don't like. Okay, like. Yeah. Here's the thing.
There are two schools of thought.
I still also think she could be Susan.
Try it.
No, Susan. Like
Oh, Susan Doctor.
Susan
Susan who?
Doctor.
Susan
Susan
who?
who? Exactly. Yeah. But I don't know. Like I really don't know. And then the fact that this is still on Earth, so different to what we've seen in the past, in the other episodes where like we've actually seen her away from Earth too. Um, this is Earth 2025, right? Um, which actually, yeah, they don't need to explain it. Doesn't matter. Um, this is the Mrs. Flood that lived next to Belinda, right?
And next to Ruby.
Yes, but she lived next to Ruby in 2024. This is 2025.
I know, but why does she live next to every single?
I don't know. Because she has a TARDIS.
She has a triad.
Yeah, I don't like I don't know, man. I feel like she could be the Ronnie, but now you're making me overthink it and
I'm just saying, just because it seems obvious, I don't think it makes it the right answer.
okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a dick.
No, I get it. I get you're trying to be a dick. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Thanks, man. Tony, anything else?
No, I think I think this was a really good episode. I think that it again kind of informing us a little bit of where we're going forward. I'm so intrigued by this next episode too. I don't know if you saw the little trailer,
The
but
barbershop
yeah,
space, and like they're in a big ant spider.
yeah. But it's
That
also supposed to be India, like yeah.
it's super
Um,
random. Super
Yeah, no,
random.
I'm very interested. I thought it was a really, really good episode, very strong, even without having the doctor in it for the majority of it. Um, I
I'm not
always
afraid of a
love
doctorless episode.
no, I'm always excited to see Unit, especially knowing that we have that spin-off show coming soon.
All right.
So,
Forgot
huh?
about that. Forgot about that. But yeah.
Yeah. So interested. So, I mean, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Good shit. Tony, anything else you want to mention? I like, as I said, a good doctorless episode, especially if it's good.
Mhm.
And I thought this one was pretty good. The show I think continues a very solid run of episodes, and um, I'm excited. I'm dying to know what's next. Like, where is this all heading? They've done a good job setting everything up,
Mhm.
having us asking questions, and I'm just dying to know how it's all gonna like come together and all these reveals.
Together, right
Oh, the
around.
Beatles. They were
You
in
got
the first
all
season.
the four Beatles come back at the end.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we know we still, I believe we haven't really touched on the Pantheon as much as we could
They've
have.
been back,
So
but we haven't really
yeah,
talked
like they're
about them.
back, but they're not back. Like, okay, yeah. So I'm sure
They're
we're gonna get into
sporadically
that a
back.
little bit. But yeah, another thing. Halfway done. We're on the halfway mark. We only got 4
Oh,
episodes left.
fuck. We only have
So
4 episodes of Doctor Who left because the show is not renewed. Did I mention the show is not renewed?
oh, by the way, if people are not sure, the show has not been renewed yet. Uh,
We freaked out about it like 3 episodes ago. Ah,
I still think they're just gonna do a hiatus. I don't think it's gonna be like
I don't want them to do a hiatus.
I know,
just
I
got
know,
into the show.
I know.
And we just did
Um,
a hiatus.
we just hiated. Um, No, I mean, yeah, like 4 episodes. I mean, I know that last one, those last 2, I think are gonna be bangers. I'm assuming we're getting a 2-parter again. Um, so be ready for that. Um,
They keep promoting the whole event of it all. And I'm
Yeah.
very interested by that. I don't know if we mentioned that a couple weeks ago, but
Oh, that they're doing the
it's
telecast thing.
releasing
Yeah.
at the same time everywhere, including movie theaters.
Yeah.
So are they hiding something big? We don't know. We don't know.
Yes.
Tony,
The Ronnie.
and the Ronnie. Let's end it here, Tony. So, Doctor Who will be back next week talking about the latest episode, whatever it's called. I still don't know. And yeah, we'll be here. Hope you guys are here too. And yeah, just follow us at whatever it says down below in the description. Either you're listening to it or watching it, just go to the description below and follow the instructions. Tony,
Yeah.
take us out.
All right, everybody. With that, Geronimo.